In this video, let's learn about Eslint. Eslint is a tool for identifying and reporting on patterns found in ECMAScript or JavaScript code with the goal of making code more consistent and avoiding bugs. This is especially important in a team where multiple developers are involved. Now what you should know is that Create React App by default installs Eslint into the project. All you have to do is install the Eslint VS Code extension. So go to Extensions, search and install Eslint. Now in a test file, if I were to type const name is equal to Vishwas and console.log name before it is defined, we see a red squiggly line. If I hover over it, you can see it is from Eslint. The rule we have violated is no use before define, which in simple words is telling us we are using a variable before it is declared. As you can see, Eslint identifies bugs when you're typing the code. What you should also know is that Create React App also installs the testing library plugin for Eslint by default. For example, in this test where getByRole is used, if I add async to the function and await screen.getByRole, we see a red squiggly line again. Hover, and we see the error from testing library. GetByRole query is synchronous, so it does not need to be awaited. So even when writing tests with React Testing Library, Eslint will steer you in the right direction. What I also like to do is add the Jest DOM plugin for Eslint. In application.tsx, I will add the disabled attribute to the submit button, and in the test file, for the button element, add another assertion. Expect submit button element not to be enabled. If I save the file, you can see it still works fine. But there are better ways to write this assertion. In the terminal, in the project folder, run the command yarn add -d eslint -plugin -jest -dom or npm install --dev eslint plugin jest dom. Next, in package.json, in the Eslint config section, in the extents array, specify the plugin. Jest dom/recommended. This will add a list of recommended rules when using Jest DOM. If we head back to the test file, we now have a red squiggly. Hover, and you can see the error message from Jest DOM. Use to be disabled instead of not to be enabled. We can fix it manually or click on the bulb and select the first option. Fix this Jest DOM prefer enabled disabled problem. And automatically we have .to be disabled. Save the file, and our test still passes. The final thing I want to show is how to run Eslint with an npm script. That will allow every developer in the team to run one command and identify if there are errors in the project. In package.json, in the scripts section, we're going to add another script. Let's call it lint, and the command would be eslint followed by dot, which refers to the current folder. But the current folder also includes node modules and the coverage folder. That is code we don't want to be linted. So we're going to add an option -- ignore path .gitignore. This will ignore all the folders and files present in gitignore. If I now save the file and run yarn lint or npm run lint if you're using npm, we should see the command succeed. In our test file, if I revert the matcher function not to be enabled and run yarn lint, we see the error flagged in the terminal. One error, and the error is used to be disabled instead of not to be enabled. This is in file application.test.tsx, line 64, column 5. Eslint, as you can see, will scan our entire codebase and give us a list of errors we need to fix. A very important static analysis tool. To summarize, Eslint is a linter which identifies and reports patterns in our source code to avoid bugs when possible. We learned that Create React App installs Eslint by default and configures it for testing library. We then added the Jest DOM plugin for Eslint to add a few more rules that help us write better tests. Finally, we learned how to add an npm script to lint our entire codebase with one command. If this is clear, let's head to the next video where we will learn about Prettier. Thank you for watching. Please do consider subscribing to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one.